Up first this evening, biased and prejudicial. The words used to describe the trial judge's summary to which the jury convicted dancehall entertainer Vybz Kartel for murder.
The declaration came as attorney Valerie Robertson and other defense counsels continued their attempts to show weaknesses in the trial, which led to Kartel's conviction.
TVJ's Vashon Brown was in court today and joins us live. Vashon?
Thank you so much, Archie and Doreen. You will recall that yesterday the attorneys for Sean Campbell made their submissions to the Court of Appeal. Well, today Vybz Kartel's attorney Valerie Robertson began her submissions, pointing out that the judge erred several times in his summary of the case to the jury. The three-member panel, Court of Appeal President Dennis Morrison, Justice Patrick Brooks and Justice Frank Williams is presiding over the matter. Day 2 of the Court of Appeal hearing for dancehall entertainer Vybz Kartel and his co-accused. One of the attorneys representing Vybz Kartel, Valerie Robertson, made her submissions to the court today. She argued that the trial judge erred at many points in his summation, where he made what she called unjustified, improper, and prejudicial comments and omissions pertaining to different aspects of the evidence. She argued that at different points, he misquoted the evidence and made palpable biased comments, all which were fatal to the possibility of a fair trial. She said the judge attempted to convey to the jury a sense of how dangerous the appellants must be, because the prosecution's main witness, Chow, and the deceased would not easily be scared. In his summation, the judge said, "Again now, Madam Foreman and your members, those are not two very soft guys. These are men who lock guns. In fact, on the very night of the incident on the 16th, the evidence is that a gun was brought to Chow to lock. So these men you would think wouldn't buckle readily. They wouldn't get frightened so easily. But they were telling you here, we were scared, knowing the situation we were into."
What he did was to give one side, a one-sided view that really put the appellants in a negative light when there was no evidential basis to do it. So one of the complaints is that these negative directions were left with the jury, and so they would have put the appellant Palmer in a particular light, which was negative.
Kartel's lawyers also argued today that the judge erred in his treatment of the unsworn statements of the appellants when he failed to inform the jury of the possible effects of the statements on their consideration of the appellant's case.
Well, the unsworn statement, the learned judge should have, in my view, left them with the possible methods of dealing with the unsworn statement. So, for example, if you accept it, then that means an acquittal. If you have a doubt, it's still an acquittal. It's only when you don't accept it, then you go back and look at the Crown's case. Or if it makes you feel sure of the Crown's case, then that is how it is applied.
Mrs. Nita Robertson also raised concerns about what she called amplified imaginative storytelling language by the trial judge in his summation. The judge said, "The next point that the prosecution is relying on is that Chow was brought back by Palmer and Sean Campbell into the area where they had been before, and there they saw Lizard lying motionless on the ground with Andre St. John and Kahira Jones and another man over him. Imagine that." That phrase, "imagine that," the defense views as problematic.
He is saying to the jury, well, this seems to be some fantastic thing the defense has come upon.
Kartel is appealing the life sentence imposed on him in 2014 for the murder of Clive Lizard Williams on August 16, 2011. Sean Campbell, Andre St. John and Kahira Jones were also convicted for the murder. Now, attorney at law Bert Samuels also wrapped up his submissions this morning on behalf of his client, Sean Campbell. He urged the appeal court not to consider a retrial for the accused. Mr. Samuels argued that there were multiple defects in the trial. He said those defects are incurable and any attempt to cure them would give the prosecution a second bite of what he called an infected cherry. He further argued that to order a new trial would give the prosecution an opportunity to make good the faulty evidence. Now, I should point out that lawyers for the appellants will make submissions until Thursday. It is expected that the prosecution will respond to the arguments thereafter, and the hearing, as you know, continues tomorrow. Archie, Doreen, back to you.